sun exposure leading to the skin cancer. Skin cancers are extremely high in areas which are towards the east. In particular, how can a person choose the right sunscreen for them? Sunscreen even on a cloudy day, even when you're indoors, even when you are in the snow. So the point is, I will use a lotion-based sunscreen. Welcome everyone. This is Sunscreen Must Podcast. On today's podcast, we'll be discussing more about sunscreen because on 27th May this year falls National Sunscreen Day. Sunscreen is an absolute essential no matter what time of the year it is. With summer going on and global warming, heat waves are so common. So it's a great time we refamiliarize ourselves with sunscreen practices. So throughout this podcast, we'll be discussing more about sunscreen, like different types of sunscreen, how to use that, how to apply it properly, and also we'll be discussing debunking some common myths about sunscreen. To educate us more about sunscreens and why it is important, we have with us a renowned dermatologist and cosmetologist, Dr. Gayathri Rajesh with us, from the city we call Bandare Baravaiku, Singar, Chennai. Welcome, Dr. Gayathri Rajesh. Before we begin our talk, doctor, what made you to become a doctor and why a specialization in dermatology?
So medicine was always my passion. Right from the beginning, I would love to treat patients. I was very good in counseling as well. So that is one of my passions from the start. And I've always wanted to become a doctor. So there was no other way. So I got a good percentage in my 12th and I got into a government college in Mumbai. And I passed out from Nasik University in Mumbai. And then I got into my post-graduation course in Sri Ramchandra Medical University in Chennai, which is at Porur. And dermatology was something which always interested me because, it's a mirror for all the underlying diseases. So you can know everything from the outside and you can actually play like a Sherlock Holmes game where you can actually know what's happening inside. And that's something which interests me. And obviously helping people to get into a better self of their and to be able to, make a difference for them in their own way. So that was something which always interested me. And so I took up dermatology.
On our Sunscreen Must podcast, let me start with the first question.
Yes.
So is it true, the UV rays and the sun exposure leading to the skin cancer? If yes, please explain that about.
No, see, there is this whole thing that, skin cancers are extremely high in areas which are towards the east, okay, which is where Australia is, and, it comes less towards this side, where the UV rays is at the maximum. Now, the melanin in our body, okay, which is produced from the melanocytes, okay, which is present in our skin. So there are some cells called as melanocytes. So they produce melanin. Now this melanin is actually the thing which gives us a color. Now see, she is having one color, I am having one color, is because of the amount of melanin which is present in our superficial part of our skin. Now that is like an umbrella. So it's like an umbrella covering us from the harmful UV light. So you have UV A, B and C. C gets cut off in the ozone layer, doesn't penetrate. And you have UVA and you have UVB. Now, most of the sunscreens which are there give us they are the umbrellas which like melanin shield us from the UV rays which come onto our skin and can cause skin damage. So, not that everybody who is in the UV ray exposure can have skin cancers, but yeah, people who are on the altitude of the direct skin UV rays have a chance of skin melanoma or skin cancers more, but we don't see that much in our country.
Okay. But you said more about skin cancer, but how can we protect ourselves from this harmful
UV radiation? See, there are, I'll say, 5 important things for using a sunscreen. So sunscreen, so what is the main thing? It's sunscreen, so it screens the sun. So you have you have a cream, you can have a lotion, you can have a gel, you can have various forms of sunscreen. So what do they contain? They contain what is called as a physical and a chemical component. Okay. The physical component of the sunscreen is zinc and titanium dioxide. Now you see all these cricketers, on the field. Okay, so importantly, we would say, Virat Kohli and everybody, they'll have this thick pack of cream over their face. Now you wonder, like, why are they wearing that? Or if you see Ashwin, he always wears. So that is a block sunscreen or a physical sunscreen, which is nothing but what's a block? The rays come and it's just directly reflected. Nothing gets absorbed, which is the best form of sunscreen is a sunblock. So they can use the block over the face, and then it blocks, and at least 99% of the light rays are reflected. Okay, so that's a block or a physical sunscreen. Most of the other creams which are more cosmetically acceptable are the chemical sunscreens. So chemical sunscreens are organic compounds which consist of avobenzone, oxybenzones, salicylates. Okay, then you have oxonates and oxosonates and many more. So these chemical compound, what they do is they get absorbed when you're applying it on your skin. They get absorbed on your skin. And then you have what is called as the SPF. So SPF means the sun protection factor. Now that is like, so if I use an SPF of 15, okay, that means it gives me 93% of protection from the sun. If I use an SPF of say 30, which is what normally you can use or normally Indian skin can use. Normally everybody can use an SPF 30. That will give you a protection of 96%. Then SPF 45 and SPF 50 gives about 98% of protection. So even if you're using an SPF 30, it's fine because you're getting a 96 protection, meaning once it is absorbed in your skin, when the light rays come, 96% is reflected. Only 4% or 5% is absorbed. So that is pretty much okay. So that's how a chemical sunscreen was. So chemical sunscreen absorbs the UV light, changes it into heat, and then dissipates it in the skin, absorbing only 4% and reflecting 95 to 96% depending upon the SPF. Physical sunscreen blocks it completely. If you ask me what is the best, a combination of both. But if you are working in a place where you have a lot of sun exposure, you're outdoors most of the time, please use a combination. Or if you're outdoors or a sports person, please use block creams.
You told many things about observing like sunscreens and reflecting sunscreen, but in particular, how can a person choose the right sunscreen for them?
So the type of sunscreen we would choose depends upon a lot of things, depends upon the climatic conditions that day. So whether it's moisture, whether it's a dry condition that day. Second of all, where you are, that's very, very important. So if in case I'm going to a very cold country, you should use a sunscreen even on a cloudy day, even when you're indoors, even when you are in the snow. So the point is, I will use a lotion-based sunscreen. Okay, so I'll use a creamy-based sunscreen, which will just, then just sit on my face and not drip out. But if I'm going out in the sun, say it's around 30 degrees outside, and I wear a cream base, it will just absorb, and I wear a powder on top. You're gonna go out and you're gonna get dripped off from all the thing because of the sweat. You do have sweat resistant sunscreens as well, but those are gel based. So when you're going to the pool, you're going to you're going on a very a sunny day, gel based sunscreen works the best. And if you're having acne prone skin, slightly matte or gel based is always better. When you have a dry skin, cream based is always better. For your hair and nails, lotions for larger surface areas. So you have like sunscreen, big bottle of lotions which are available outside for your body. But for your face, gel is the best. I would prefer gel-based sunscreen.
Very nice. You've mentioned many different kind of products. But let me get it straight. How can we apply it properly?
Okay, so I'll just show a small demo of how you can actually apply. So you take this, take the sunscreen and... So the thing is, see, there are two things. So we always say that one fingertip, two fingertips. Okay. So 1 and 2 fingertips comes how? So this you can take a little bit. Yeah, one. So like this. Okay. So 1 fingertip completely and 2 fingertips. So this should be ideally on your face. So what you can do is take this much, means how are you going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can put that many doses. So there are two ways. So the 2 fingertips, or in my easy way when I tell patients, so you do 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then take little bit 5, 6, 7 and 8. Take little bit more 1, 2, 3. That's it. And the rest front and back. The same thing is these 2 fingertips. Again, same thing for one hand. Again, 2 fingertips for 2 hands. Then you have 4 fingertips for legs. So 4 for the legs, 4 each, 2 for the hands, and for the face I showed you. And நான் காமிச்ச மாதிரி அந்த 2 fingertips வந்து you have to use in one hand, then 2 fingertips to the other hand, 4 fingertips for the one leg and 4 fingertips for the other leg.
So we talked about applying it properly, but does really sunscreen remove tanning?
Sunscreen வந்து will not remove tanning per se. Tanning is a protective mechanism. இப்போ there are 2 types. One is immediate tanning, one is delayed tanning. ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்து அண்ட் யூவிஏ வர்சஸ் யூவிபி அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இருக்குது. பட் ஸோ நீங்கள் சன்ஸ்க்ரீன் பார்க்கும்போது யூ வில் சி அ PA+++, ஓகே, ஸோ விச் இஸ் UVA ப்ரொடெக்ஷன். ஓகே, ஸோ UVA++ இஸ் அ UV ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் அண்ட் SPF கோஸ் மோர் ஃபார் UVB தென் UVA ஆக்சுவலி. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி பிரித்து பண்ணும்போது தீஸ் ஆர் ஜஸ்ட் ஃபார் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன். இன் டர்ன் வில் டிக்ரீஸ் டேனிங். But நீங்கள் sunscreen போடுறதுனால tanning remove ஆகாது. Tanning is a totally different process where we need to give some creams and lotions, do peels and procedures for tan removal.
But we'll get into this sunscreen myths அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். Because நிறைய பேர் வந்து they are connecting it to like sunscreen யூஸ் பண்ணால் அகெயின் டேனிங் ரிமூவ் ஆகிறது ஒரு பக்கம் இருந்தது அப்படின்னா கேன்சர் வராமல் இருக்கும் அப்படின்றது ஒரு பக்கம் இருந்தது. லைக் தெர் ஆர் டூ மெனி myths அப்படின்னும் போது லைக் ஹேவ் யூ ஹர்ட் ஆஃப் லைக் என்னது பர்டிகுலர் myth?
இல்லை சன்ஸ்க்ரீன் வந்து இப்போ போட்டிங்கன்னா விட்டமின் டி ஒரு பாடியில் வந்து வில் பிகம் வெரி லெஸ்னா அப்படி இல்லை. ஸ்கின் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஒன் ஆஃப் த ஏரியாஸ் வேர் விட்டமின் டி கன்வர்ஷன் அக்கர்ஸ். பட் சன்ஸ்க்ரீன் போட்டதோட்டு விட்டமின் டி அப்சார்ப்ஷன் குறைஞ்சிடும், அதனால் விட்டமின் டி பிகம்ஸ் வெரி லெஸ் உடம்புல, அந்த மாதிரிலாம் எதுவுமே இல்லை. தட்ஸ் அ பர்டிகுலர் மித்.
இப்போ நிறைய என்னன்னா tan is a healthy sign of
obviously, because if you see white skin, which is Australian skin, they have less amount of melanin. Why? That's why they're white. Okay, so the melanin வந்து கலர் கொடுக்குது. ஸோ எவ்வளோ melanin இருக்கோ, obviously African skin பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they have the most melanin, most number of melanocytes which produce melanin. That's why they are of skin type. So we have skin types 1 to 6. So இப்போ whites or Caucasians நீங்கள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா they are of skin type 1, 2. நம்ம African skin type வந்து 7. நம்ம Indian skin type வந்து we come under 2, 3 and 4. So we are the type who will immediately get a lot of tanning, less of burning. So if I take a foreigner to the beach, okay, and make him stand for 8 hours, he will not get tanned. He will only get burnt. He'll become red, but he will never tan. Tomorrow he's not going to become dark and come. He will only become red. So those skin tones will never tan. They will only burn. If you take an African skin to the beach for 8 hours, again it doesn't make a difference because the melanin is so protective. It is not going to allow the rays to get in, and it's not that they're only going to tan. They won't burn. Ours is very, very bad. We will tan and we will burn. So once you go inside, you're going to get burned and you're going to get tanned as well. So tanning is something which is very normal. That means your melanin in your body is working well and it is working to the fullest and it is working to what body, skin color you are and protecting you. That's the most important word, protecting you. When you apply some things to get little bit control the melanocyte activity and decrease melanin by 2 shades, then you do it for getting your color back.
But to get in particular, நிறைய பேர் வந்துட்டு sunscreen on sunny days only அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்கிறாங்க. And also like ஒரு நாளைக்கு ஒரு தடவை போட்டால் it's like way much okay.
No, so what happens, there are 2 things to it. நம்ம UV rays, we think it's only from the sun. You have a lot of UV radiation, not so much, but you also have a UV radiation from the light, the LED lights, on halogen bulbs. You have UV radiation from the phones, you have the UV radiation from laptops. So all of it also can cause pigmentation. So you have to guard your face from all of these as well. So sunny day, cloudy day, rainy day, doesn't matter. Suppose you're inside a room where there's completely everything. Now all of them have artificial lights all around, okay? So that can increase your pigmentation on your face. Earlier times, all this was not there. Earlier times, it was a very open law. There was just one fan on and it was all on natural light. Few rooms were AC. Now all the rooms are AC, all the rooms have artificial lights. So then you need to understand that that is the problem now. The light. It is not the sun which is the problem.
As you earlier said, SPF 50 is like வந்து டாப் எண்ட்னு. பட் ஆனால் நிறைய பேர் என்னன்னா அதுவே வந்துட்டு இட்ஸ் லைக் ஃபைன், அதை விட கம்மியாக வந்து போனோம் அப்படின்னா இட்ஸ் நாட் குட் எனஃப் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரியான ஒரு மித் இருக்கு இல்லையா?
No, no. See, SPF 15, no. SPF 30 is ideal for our skin type. SPF 30 to 50. So you can buy 30, 45, 50 is fine. You don't have to go up to a 70 or 100. Now they are saying 70, 100 la irukku, which is very, very good. But SPF 45 to 50, 30, 45, 50 is good enough because it gives a good coverage of 96 to 98% of the UV rays are being reflected off, which is pretty good.
If they're using sunscreen, it pretty much washes off with sweat and water அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க இல்லையா? Is it really true?
See, the thing is, ideally the sunscreen we'll have to use it 40 minutes before going out in the sun. So if you're just going to use a sunscreen and step out immediately out of a car, then the sunscreen is not going to help you at all. So use it 40 minutes before you're going out in the sun. Second important thing is every sunscreen or stability, the molecule stability lasts only for 2 to 3 hours actually. So once it absorbs the rays and it is being dissipated into and the heat ஆயிட்டு போயிட்டோன்னே அதனோட ஆக்ஷன் முடிஞ்சிருச்சு. So நீங்கள் reapply பண்ணணும் sunscreen. Reapply means doesn't mean you have to go to the washroom, wash and then reapply. No. You can apply once and suppose you've applied it once, okay, and it's completely gone off, done, you can reapply it again on top of it itself. You don't have to keep going, washing and come. You can reapply the sunscreen 3 times. So ideally 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock you have to keep reapplying your sunscreen. So that is every 3 hours.
But like there are so many products in the like market which promises 24 hours
Lasting, yeah.
Yeah. So is that true or like
No, there are some products which last for about say 1 day, but maximum I believe is I've seen a couple of and I've gone through the literature and seen maximum 8 hours is a good time for it to last. After that I don't think the stability of that molecule is there, and I don't think any of us wouldn't wash our faces for one entire day. So maximum I think we would let our face alone for 8 hours. And after getting up in the morning, please wash your face also again. So that practicality for 24 hours lasting is a waste because then nobody keeps it. Like anybody, everybody takes bath also immediately twice. So 12 hours is a very long time. And I think people do wash their faces immediately. So yeah, so there are some sunscreens, but 24 hours lasting is not a practical way. That's all I would say.
So recently a viral video went on sunscreen. So basically, the myth on there was only on face we should be applying the sunscreen, not on other parts of the body. So actually, you already said, but is that true?
No. You have to apply it in all the sun-exposed areas. So in the neck, the chin, very, very important. The back of the neck and the arms. So it's a very neglected area. The neck is a very neglected area. So you see, even some of the people who do makeup, some of the patients who come, they'll come with nice, the face will look very nice, the neck is going to look very, very dark, okay? So please wear sunscreen here as well, and your nails also. Your nails and fingers are very, very important. Please use there as well, and your toes also. Toes are something very, very important. Please use it there also.
Okay. But my question personally, this is to you. After wearing makeup, அது எப்படி வந்து நம்ம like we have to reinstate our sunscreen after 4 hours or like how can we do that?
Of course, you want to try it now? Please try it on. It will look good. Please try it on.
So I have to like take like 2 fingers.
Yeah, or you can just put spots there. Yeah, around that much. Put spots there and just try it on. That's it.
I should dab it.
Dab it.
Not smudge it.
You can, not a problem. It has to get into the skin. You see in the mirror, you look very nice. So I think, yeah, you're looking even more gorgeous now. Yes.
But most of the people are very afraid of the white cast that skin produces, right? How can we manage that?
See, the white cast is now they're coming up with a lot of sunscreen which are colorless actually. So when you take it itself, it's colorless, so it just merges onto the skin. Now you find the right kind of sunscreen for yourself, which you feel that doesn't have. See, like I don't mind the white cast. Okay, like I'll take a little less of the quantity, but I'll make sure that I use it like more amount of times. So I keep using every 2 hours. But if you are someone who doesn't like the white cast, then you have the sunscreens which have absolutely no color, which are gel based, which are very good as well. But nowadays, most of the sunscreens are such nano-sized particle that the white cast is not even seen. See, the zinc in the sunscreen is the one which gives the white color. So that is made in such micro-sized nanoparticles that it just merges onto the skin. So now it's come in a good way. Take the matte or the gel based. So those will not cause, and silicone gel and matte based, those will not have a white cast at all.
Okay. And most of the people are like வந்து relate பண்ணிக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயம்னா those stick on sunscreens இல்லையா மேக்கப் போட்டதுக்கு அப்புறமா கூட is easy to use, we can just swipe it off அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. So like how does that work?
It's the same concept. It's just another way of delivering the thing onto your skin. I'm not a great fan of the stick-on because I feel that, you have to be very, very careful about the sterility of the product because, you're going to do that and you're going to keep it, okay? Versus something which you're taking in from a bottle, taking it out your hand and closing it. So I feel that the sterility aspect on that is less because you may use it. You might suppose your friend is asking, they might use it, or someone else might use it, or you might use it after days. So I feel that if you have other kinds of things, well, you can go ahead with that. Yeah.
And a major set of people, more than like 30 to 40 age, they might be considering sunscreen as their anti-aging mask. So will that be
100% because your UV rays after a certain point causes aging. Because UV rays, when it comes to your skin, causes an inflammatory process. So, an inflammation இருக்கும்போது those chemicals age your skin. See, you age every day. So, your skin also ages every day. So, sunscreen is a protection. So, when it protects, it acts as an anti-aging, has an anti-aging mechanism as well.
Okay. So, contrast to that age, 20. So, these people are like following mostly on falling on the BB creams, right? So, how does that work?
See, BB creams, every BB cream has a different constituent. There are many sunscreens which have the BB cream base also. So, what I would suggest is don't use the combination. If you want to use a BB cream, first use the BB and then layer it off with the sunscreen.
Okay. But on a general note, how can we get a clear and flawless skin?
The thing is, see, first important is 3 things. If you want something flawless, first you use a very good cleanser. Okay, so you can use, if you have very severe acne, you can use something which has salicylic acid like actives in it with glycolic mannolic acid. If you have very dry skin, then you use some other, you remove of all these actives and you use some other molecules which are hydrating. Then you have combination skin accordingly. So you can use a face wash or a soap or a cleanser depending upon how well your skin is, and you have to consult your dermatologist on it. So first is to clean your face. First, you should always clean your face at least 2 to 3 times. Even with water is fine, but clean your face first. Important. You're removing it of all the debris and the dust and all the pollutants, and as well as the extra oil and the sebum which is being produced. The second of all, what are we most worried about is pigmentation. So you take care of the pigmentation. So what is a pigmentation? Okay, because of acne or because of pimples. So you take medications or you apply creams for pigmentation for acne, which is going to reduce your pigmentation. And last is your pigmentation. So first is face washes. Then second is relieving your acne. Third is going to be a pigmentation. And fourth is going to be your scars. So these are the 4 main concerns. In that, sunscreen plays a major role in general routine care. So when I give a routine for a patient, so first is a depigmenting cream, something which decreases your melanin, then sunscreen. Night, I always combine it with something which clears you off your pigmentation and a retinol. So retinol is something which is anti-aging, anti-wrinkle, makes your skin thin, decreases your sweat, and as decreases your sebum, not sweat, decreases the oil in your skin, and doesn't allow the clogging of the pores and minimizes the acne production.
But keeping aside the external care, The internal care we're talking about, the diet and the stress management, does it really reflect on our skin?
It does. See, stress is something which is இப்போ எல்லாமே சந்து வண்டு தண்டு is got stress. Okay, everybody, even a small child, oh, I'm stressed. Stress is nothing but when you're doing any work, emotional or physical, there are some, it's a chemical reaction. No, so there are some byproducts of the chemical reaction. That primarily is what stays on as stress in our body. So they are nothing but in different forms of free radicals or oxygen radicals, which basically go and injure a tissue. Okay, so that stress, when it goes to the skin, causes inflammation and basically is one of the reasons for acne. So your stress is reduced, your acne is also reduced. Same thing for PCOS or any hormonal condition. Higher the hormones, more is the oil secretion, more is the acne. So lesser the hormone, lesser acne, lesser oil secretion, and everything depends on the oil. See, when you're really, when you are, when you're having your menstruation, 2 weeks before you're going to have a flare of acne. Why? Because your hormones are at the peak. It increases your oil. Your oiliness in your body, your seborrhea increases. So you have increased amount of acne. Same thing when you're stressed, your seborrhea increases. You have more of sweating. Same thing, more of oil in your face. So your seborrhea increases. So all these things, if you decrease, automatically your skin will be flawless. Flawless means will be healthy.
That's really a nice thing to say, doctor. But on National Sunscreen Day, which falls on May 27th, do you have any particular advice that you want to give out to our viewers?
Yeah, so please don't buy any products out, other than the products which are generally prescribed to you by the dermatologist. OTC products, a few of them are okay, like say a few moisturizers and sunscreens are okay. But buy a good sunscreen, buy C for the SPF, C for the PA+++, C for boot star rating, C for all of this and buy. Then the third important thing is drink lots of water, lots of water. People keep saying this, but it is important. Apply good moisturizers. I would say I love moisturizers. We would love to do a talk on moisturizers next. So moisturizers every 3 to 4 hours in a day, you must use a moisturizer. So keep a sunscreen and a moisturizer always in your bag. No matter what, you please keep these two in your bag. Hydrate yourself well and have a healthy skin.
That was indeed a beautiful talk, Dr. Gayathri Rajesh. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time taking out your busy schedule for us. And indeed, கண்டிப்பா சொல்லணும் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் வந்துட்டு sunscreen பத்தியும், those UV rays and how sunscreen works and everything. It was very clear to us and we could relate to it. And கண்டிப்பா இதுக்கப்புறமா our viewers will follow the words you told from your heart. And கண்டிப்பா thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You said that I told words from my heart, which is thank you for that. And it was a very nice interview with Nilufar. Thank you so much. And thank you at the outset for having me here and talk about sunscreen, which is very close to my heart on National Sunscreen Day, which falls on May 27th. And happy sunscreen to all, happy safe sunscreen to all, and be safe always. And it's raining now, so enjoy the rains. Thank you.
So viewers, thank you so much. If you're so concerned about your skincare, do follow us on our Sunscreen Must podcast.